Personal training is gay. It is one of the biggest scams that beginners fall into when they start lifting weights. And today I'm going to tell you my entire personal trainer history and how personal training really got me bad at weightlifting and how learning weightlifting myself through various sources online helped me reach the results that I wanted to rather than personal training. But first, welcome to the Becoming Men project. My name is Ayan and I help young men transition from boy psychology to man psychology. So, I started weightlifting in 2023 and I was really skinny. All the all the biggest guys in the gym, I've never seen any one of them ever have personal training. And when I got into weightlifting, the first gym that I went to was a very local gym. It's really nearby to my house and I started going there and the first thing that I did after getting into the gym was open YouTube on my phone and just write incline bench form. And I remember like going to the incline bench and loading the weights on the bar, and I started hitting the weights. And then this one person walks up to me. I've never seen this person in my life, and he's wearing the logo of the gym on his t-shirt. So must be a helper or a trainer. And so I was hitting it, and he was just looking at me like this, and he just looked at me, and then the weight fell because I'm obviously a beginner, and it's my first day in the gym. And then he picked it up and then he looked at me very sternly and then he was like, "Why are you doing it?" And I was like, "Because I want to hit upper pecs." And he was like, he said, like, "If you don't know how to lift, why are you doing it?" And that made me cry because I was 13 at the time, mind you. And I went home. I instantly just picked my bag up, took my bicycle, and came home. And I went on and I was like Jeff Nippert Basics because that's the only person who I trusted at the time. And there's this fundamental playlist that Jeff Nippert has, and I just started making notes of it, and nothing helped because I had no idea what he's talking about, and I was 13, and I was just lost. And then the next day, I went to the gym, and I made an entire routine. I was really proud of it. I was like, I made an entire split which was full body 6 times a week. Think about that, and that was pretty weird. Like six full body split 6 times a week is like crazy work for your body, especially for a 13-year-old. And I started hitting the weights and my body was so tired after three exercises and I did not know what to do. And then the next day I came back, I tried doing it again, it didn't work. And then that same person came up to me. He looked at my notebook. I had this little journal in my hand and he looked at it and he started laughing at me. And then he got two or three other people around him and he was like, "Come look at what this kid is doing." And like all of them started laughing at me. And I went home that day thinking, what will it take for this person to stop making fun of me? And like for me as a 13-year-old, it was like, get better at it, like get bigger. That's how he'll respect you. But that is where I was wrong. Because he, in fact, was a personal trainer. And what would have made him shut up was me buying his services. Because that's what he is there to do. He's there to sell his service, which is personal training. And so next day I came in and I was like, I talked about it to my dad and he was like, just go ask him how much he asks for you. And he asked me like $100 for the month, and that is like a lot. And I was like, I'm not giving you $100. Even when I was studying, I was like, I'm not giving you $100. And then I was like, maybe like 40 or 50, and then he agreed on that. And then the next day I came in, I was like, I will not start with you unless you give me a trial. And then the next day, funnily enough, he taught me everything. He told me the cues that I needed for my form. I was hitting triceps at the end. I was like, control the negative and just hit the weights like this, do that. Like these are the exercises you do. And I was like, hmm. The next day, I told him no. I was like, I will not use your services. And he instantly went back to making fun of me. He was like, hey, look at this guy. And that's where things got weird. And for some reasons, like my class and boards came in between. I stopped lifting. In 2024, I changed gyms because of that person. Biggest idiotic move I ever did because I was so scared of going to the gym. Like the gym had stopped being a place of worship for my body, which I originally thought it would be. It had I was so intimidated by just entering the gym and looking at that person's face. So I switched gyms. And guess what? I went into the gym and there's this new person there. His name is Rahul, and he comes up to me and he's like, "Hey kiddo," and I'm like, "Hey," and he asked me like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I want to lift weights," and he just he tells me what to do, and I did it for the first day. The second day, he's like, you know, "How much your parents make?" I was like, "They make some money. I just told him a random amount, which was not true, by the way. And he was like, "Do you want personal training?" And I was like, "No, I don't want personal training." He never showed up. He never asked me what I wanted to hit that day. He never asked me what my goals were. He stopped helping me that moment. And I was in that gym for a year, and I started making progress by, I'll teach you how I did that. And like every time I went into the gym, I had this little journal. I still carry a journal to the gym where I write down all the exercises I did, all the sets, all the reps. And he's looking at me. And one day I was hitting like a lat pull down, and my journal was behind me. So he just randomly picked up the journal, got two of the trainers around him, and they just started laughing. Like the entire gym could see these people were laughing at me. And that was such a traumatizing event for me because I was 15 at that time. And again, that is such a toxic thing to do, but that was acceptable, especially in India, because personal training is linked to going to the gym. Like 100% it is. And if you are a person who's just starting to lift weights, personal training isn't meant for you. You should know this. And I'll tell you why. And then I just kept hitting weights. I'll show you some of the progress I made. And then again, I had to stop lifting because I was planning to do more academic endeavors, which didn't work out. But yeah. And then I started lifting weights again in 2025. And I switched gyms again because that gym closed down. And in this new gym, there are two or three trainers, which are specifically personal trainers hired by the gym. So the trainers who came up to me before were affiliated with the gym. They made money by training people in the gym. So they had a cut in the person's fee that they give. But these are the people who like are hired by the gym to give you personal training, and they charge a lot. They charge like $150 for personal training. And and then this person just approached me and he shook my hand and he was like, "I'm 16, by the way, in 2025," and he's like, "Hey, you look really good." And I was like, "Thank you." And the next day I came, he's like, "You look really good. I'm really proud that you're a young guy coming into the gym." Like, thank you. Like, fair enough, he's giving me a compliment. And the next day, I show up to the gym and he asked me if I want personal training or not. And then after that, I never got any compliments. And this has happened so many times. Personal training is a scam. So here's what I really want you to know. Personal training is like a crutch. It's like you depending on a person when you go to the gym. Like, think about this. In masculinity and feminism, my apologies. Who do you think is the person who's dependent? In the polar relationship, where one person is masculine, dominant, he's the leader, he's the anarchist in the relationship. He's the one who's leading, and he's the one who's giving the purpose. He's the one who's causing change in the relationship. He's responsible for intimacy. On the other hand, the feminine part of the relationship, it's responsible for love, the flow of love. It's responsible for taking care, for forgiving, for being authentic, for showing the gifts of nature and love that feminism has always been about. Which one of these do you think is dependent? It's always feminism, and there isn't anything wrong in it. Feminism is dependency, and healthy dependency, not unhealthy dependency. So I'm talking to a man right now. Think about this. Do you want to be dependent on a person for the rest of your lifting journey? Do you want your physique to be dependent on one person showing up at the time you want to, or he wants to if he's a personal trainer, and being dependent on that person? The day you stop giving him money, the day you stop his services, you have no idea what to do. Like, I know you want automation in your life and you want everything to be served to you in a silver platter, but that isn't what masculinity is. Lifting weights is a very beautiful journey, and I want that for you. Lifting weights and like genuinely sculpting your physique how you want it, getting big ass arms and getting taller if you're young, and just staying in shape and being healthy. Learning about this stuff isn't time wasted, it's time invested. Like, think about this. Like, if you go to school, and like everybody is in school, like if you go to school, in the entire history of your education, would you call it investment or waste? Like, would you call it time invested or time wasted? Of course it's time wasted. Who the fuck gives any shit about, who gives a fuck about geography? Like, genuinely, who does? Like, we never use geography. I mean, there will be like 0.1% of you watching this who will be like geologists and be like, yeah, geography help me. Sure. History, language, like, these things don't help you. You don't need these things in your life, but you're taught about them. Hence, that is time wasted. Lifting weights, on the other hand, that is one thing that you need in your life throughout, because you will want to be healthy. Think about this. Will you not want to have a six pack abs when you're 70 or 80? Fuck, even 90. Like, who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want to be fit all the time? Isn't that true? So, why would you want to be dependent on a person for that goal. And again, you can say like, I'll just get that service for 3 or 4 months, then learn, and then go back to lifting on my own. What I'm trying to say is, when you start lifting weights or when you are learning from a person, the day they stop teaching you, or the day they stop telling you what to do, you're completely independent that day. And that will be scary. And that will push you back at least a year in your journey. It did for me. I skipped a year of gym when I was 14 to 15. I wish I started lifting weights when I was 14. I would have been shredded by now. But I didn't. I started when I was 16. I skipped 2 years of lifting weight. And you know why that is? That is because of my fear of personal trainers. And if you have this fear, then I swear to God, your journey is already over. Like, you will make like 20% of the progress that you could make, not genetically, by your own potential, just by showing up and learning. Like, what's stopping you from going online and just typing weightlifting advice, or watching a podcast like Huberman's podcast? Like, or there's another one, I don't remember the name, but yeah, like, he's an amazing coach and he makes amazing podcasts and videos about all topics related to health and fitness. I'll link his channel in bio. And why won't you do that? And then there's this person, Alex Leonidas, like, traditional masculine videos about genuinely going into the gym and training old school, like, hard training. But personal trainers are like Greg Doucet. They'll be on gear themselves and then just criticize other people for being on gear and not telling you about it. It's their life. Why are you interfering? Personal trainers are like that. They won't criticize themselves. They won't tell you the negative aspects of their life. They'll just criticize other trainers or you if you don't take their services. How fucked up is that? And they convert gym from being a temple of worship for your physique and your body, and they convert it into a place of intimidation. Why would you want to be a part of that? Like, that is the biggest scam that people have gone through. Like, every day, every year, new people sign up to the gym thinking they'll revolutionize their life by going to the gym. Every year these people go to the gym for 10 days. Their personal trainer tells them to hit hard push-ups or hard squat, whatever they tell them to do. These people are turned off by that and they never lift again. 50%, I'm confirmed, 50% of all people who've ever entered a gym have left because of personal trainers. Like, that is the biggest problem, and I don't want that for you. So my message for you, my final message for you is, stop being feminine. Actually be masculine. Go out for education. Don't outsource it from other people. You're not at the point of your life where you need everything served to you on a silver platter. Money isn't what I'm talking about. You could genuinely spend $1,000 on personal training every month and still be dependent on a person, because it doesn't matter who the trainer is. It doesn't matter how long you train for with them. Once you start personal training, you are lost, because you don't have any education. All you're doing is just asking that person to tell you what to do. Is that what you want? Because trust me, that isn't what you should be doing right now. If you're a new lifter, focus on getting quality education, be it from people online, be it from the big old guys in your gym who train in the old masculine way. Just walk up to people, and then the gym is the perfect place to socialize. Like, why wouldn't you do that? Just walk up to an old guy, like a guy who's really fit, and just ask, like, I really like your physique. Compliment it first, and just tell him, like, I really want my physique to be like yours. Like, what do you do? What split do you do? What exercise do you? How do you train? And I swear to God, there won't be one single person in the gym who would say no to a compliment. And you will gain so much genuine education from that person, and you will have good, wholesome conversation with them. That's like a win-win for you, and I want that for you. Hence, never do personal training unless and until you're injured or it is something related to a sports. Which, by the way, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about personal trainers who ask for money and train you in the gym, not for professional sports, just for lifestyle change. And I don't want that for you. So that's my final message. Be responsible of your own physique and your journey, and you will reach the true potential of your genetics and your physique. And I want that for you. If you liked what you learned today and would like to learn more, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.